Let's discuss the NCERT back exercise question number 1.4 of chapter 1. Calculate the amount of carbon dioxide that could be produced when 110 mole of carbon, 16 gram of mole of carbon in the 16. So whenever such type of question arises, firstly write down the balanced chemical carbon 1, so oxygen, it will lead to the formation of CO2. Question, we 1 mole provided and we need to of this. Whenever we need to firstly see whether the reaction is balanced on the very first step. Next, we need to find out the mole using the stoichiometry, how it works. Amount of carbon, it is 1 if nothing is written. And here also 1 mole of carbon is to reacting with the 1, it leads to the formation of 1. So 1 mole of CO2 is present. Formula for finding out using moles. N is equals to what? By molecular mass. Have given mass molecular mass 44. Answer is 4 gram. Get the second. The second, we need 1 mole of carbon in the 16 gram of the dioxygen. So firstly, write the reaction is balanced as we can see it. Now what we have 16 dioxygen. So firstly, we will find out the moles. Moles of oxygen upon molecular mass, and the molecular oxygen is going to. So how many moles we get? How many moles? We get 0.5 moles. Now here comes a very important concept of limiting reagent. Understand that, and then only we will going to be solve such types of question. What is limiting reagent? Limiting reagent is that reactant which is the least quantity, and it is going to decide the amount of to be formed. In the simple language, reagent कम amount में present, वो limiting reagent कहलाएगा और वही decide करेगा कि product कितना बनेगा. Now the question arises, then how we are going to find out the limiting reagent? Limiting reagent, we need to first moles, as we have find out what automatically with the stoichiometry. If nothing is written here, that means carbon is present, but we can simply, according to the standard reaction, we need dioxygen to lead to mole of CO2. But now we have 0.5 mole of dioxygen. That means this is going to be the limiting reagent. That is a probability that it can be a reagent which is limiting, but we need to clarify it. So how we are going to clarify it? So whatever the mole is given, just divide it by the stoichiometry. Here we have 1 mole of carbon, we have 0. Dioxygen, the stoichiometry is 1. Answer, the answer is this. Which is the least value is going to be the limiting reagent. What is 0.5 limiting reagent? Is dioxygen to decide the formation of the 0.5 present. That means 0.5 mole of to be formed. We can what? We can find out the mass. Given mass upon molecular mass, X is equals to 44. Whenever 0.5 is given, to solve it out, automatically put it 1 by 2. We can get easily the answer. Now look at the question number. What it says. Question number 3 says 2 moles of carbon are burnt in the 16 gram of dioxygen. Now the reaction is again same. Carbon plus dioxygen gives out CO2. But here we are having 60. We'll find out the moles. Comes out to be 0.5. Now we need to find out the limiting balanced chemical reaction. This mole with what? Stoichiometry. This mole with what? We will divide this mole with this 1. Now with 1, it comes out to be 2. It comes out to be 0.5. Limiting reagent is oxygen. So 0.5 mole of oxygen will lead to the formation of 0.5 mole of the CO2, and we need to find out the amount. So X with what? Molecular mass. So again, it is going to be what? 22 gram. So here the main concept for such type of questions is limiting reagent. I have